And and to the naughty party. Mona Lisa, men have named you, yes or no. The mystic smile, is it only 'cause you love me? Yeah. I want to talk about the African American male. And a good life. And how special is the African American male? I think the African American male is special, and I think I want to start with jobs. I think that there are African American males who does work, does take care of their families and their families and stuff. You know, although there is some that doesn't and stuff like that. But I want to take a look at the ones that do good. And I think again. When I talk about the African American male with the job thing, I think some of them are doesn't have certain jobs or certain education, certain this, that, you know, and all that stuff. But I want to talk about the ones that do. And I think the ones that doesn't have the education, this, that, and the other is because they are. It's withheld from them in certain ways. But I want to talk about the ones that do have it. I think African American males who do work and take care of their families are special. They are. It shows them in a good light. And it's not just like seeing them in a bad light, but the African American male takes care of his family, and I also like to see African American males who love their wives and their children. There are African American males out there that love their wives and their children, and they doesn't need to go outside the marriage or the relationships they have with other women or another woman and stuff. I like to see that, and I think that there is some that do it, but you do see it. You do see it in some African American males, and I think that is very special to see. Do I think the African American male is gorgeous? Yes. I think a lot of African American males are gorgeous or handsome. African American males that have the resources and stuff like that, you know, you kind of see how they dress, how they look. They take care of themselves, the families, the houses, or whatever they may have, and stuff like that. You know, and they do. Look handsome and take care of what their families, and they do have materialistic stuff. And it's good to see that, and that they take care of the family as well, not just to have all this materialistic stuff, but to take care of the family. And I think that's good to see. You know, although some relationships doesn't work, and he goes off and get another woman or whatever, but there are times when he'll still take care of the child or children that he had from former marriages, relationships, or whatever. And that's good to see, that he doesn't abandon the children, even though he left the girlfriend or the wife, and stuff like that. And it's good to see that. And African American males do take care. It's good to see that when they do that. When you do see that, they are capable of doing that, and I think that's very special to see. With the African American male, he does know how to dress. The African American male, he spends money, on whatever the materialistic stuff, in cars, houses, dress, and look his best. He know how to spend money. But the one thing about African American males, if you look down at their feet, you would see like they doesn't like really wear like bobos. You don't normally see that. I mean, I think some people wear skippers and stuff like that, but for the most part, if you look down at their feet, you will see like they have like they don't have bobos on. They have like decent sneakers on, and shoes. Well-dressed pants and jackets and suits and stuff like that. That they buy and stuff like that, and they tend to look handsome, like that, and they go out and to parties and this, that, or some people are in recovery, some people go out to parties and stuff like that. But again, I like to see him, the African American male, take care of his not necessarily take care of his children, because again, the wife could work and he could work, and stuff like that. But when the wife isn't working, that he'll take care of the family, and it's good to see that. And I see that with some African American males, and stuff like that. And again, I like to see how he treat the children and the wife. I think that a man that loves his wife and doesn't want another woman, that's good to see. I think sometimes it can be enticing when it comes to other women, but I think it's good to see when an African American male love his wife or his woman and doesn't want any other woman. I think that's good to see. And he doesn't mess around with other women. Even though women probably throw their panties at him, and stuff like that, but he doesn't go outside the marriage, and he sticks to be committed to his wife or girlfriend and the children. And you kind of see that, with African American males. Not all African American males abandon their children, you know, and not all of them, you know, so, you know, but I think that he is special, and that it's always good to see that he wants to be a great member of society, and work, goes, be committed to his wife and his children. And it's good to see that. You know, like that, and he only wants her. I think that is amazing to see. You know, like that, I really do, but you know, like again, you know, and it's good to see a man that work, like, and you know, like that. It doesn't matter what type of job he has, you know, it doesn't matter, because you know, you can look at the African American male, whether rich or not. Still, long as he respects his wife, his children, he work and be a good member of society, and he doesn't he do what he has to do in order to maintain the marriage and have a relationship with the children. And that's another thing with the children. Another thing with the children, respects the wife, be faithful to her. The children, have a great relationship with the children. I think that's important. Even when the children are not his, he still step up. Like, you know, he doesn't say, hey, these children are not mine. Like, and it's like that's part of the package when you get with her. And he's okay with taking care of her children. Or the wife is okay taking care of his children. And stuff like that, but it's good to see the male do that, and because he knows that she is a package deal, like she come with other children, and so that's part of the package, and he accepts that, like, you know, and he, you know, and for him to be like a godly man, that loves God, and respects himself and his family and others, and he have respect for other members in society, not just, you know, being at home with the wife or the girlfriend or the children. Have respect for others in society, and I think that is good to see when it comes to the African American male. You know, it doesn't matter whether they're rich or not. It doesn't matter. You know, because I doesn't want to separate the person being famous or not. It doesn't matter which one. You know, it's good to see it in both, whether that person is famous or not. And I think You know, some men, you got a lot of men out there that light skin, the light skinned males. You got the very light, the middle skin, and the darker skin. And I see them as handsome in all three. And you know, and I see them handsome in all three colors. It doesn't matter, because I think African American males come in all shades. You know, it's just that, you know, it depends on what you like. But I see that African American male just as handsome in all colors. You know, like that, because I think you know, it's always like a variety, and you could choose from. You know, when picking who you want as a husband or whatever. But he is I think all African American males are special. I'm not just saying that the ones that does. I think all African American males are special. And I think sometimes that some African American males do negative stuff. I do see that. But then you got someone that do the right stuff, positive stuff. But I do think, I do believe that all African American males are special, even if they doesn't feel that way. You know, I think sometimes life issues, life throws us different type of stuff, and we deal with they deal with situations differently and stuff like that. But I think all African American males are special, with or without money. And with or without money. But I think that in order to to be a better citizen or be better, it's always to have some money coming in so that they can take care of themselves and stuff like that. But I again, I think in some ways life issues throw, you know, the African American male into different type of situations, and is how he deals with it, you know, and stuff like that. But I again, I think all across the board with the positive stuff that African Americans do, they can go out and do sports, they can go out and do things with the family, they can go to parties, you know, depends on where you at, you know, with society. You can go out parties and hang out and do sporting stuff and with the family and friends and stuff like that. And the other thing with the friends thing, I think that you see African American males that is doing good. I think they do have friends that they want to stay in relationship with when it comes to friends, and they pick friends. You know, sometimes some friends could be not so good, some friends could be good or whatever. But I think when the African American relates to other people, other friends, and all that stuff, it's just a way that the African American male in the positive light will have to choose that. Because again, you got some people who is not so good or whatever when it comes to behaviors and stuff like that, and then you got some ones that do good. But I think the African American male who wants to be a positive member of society wants to be able to hook up with people that are positive, and you do see that. You doesn't see them, you know, in trouble. You doesn't see them. They take care of their family and stuff. They come home. They do all kinds of stuff, you know, with the family and friends and stuff like that, and still maintain a healthy lifestyle and stuff like that. And men can dress their behinds off, you know, when they come. I mean, again, they can dress their behinds off with those suits and shoes and different type of sneakers, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And you know, some of them have very expensive, you know, taste and stuff like that, and cars, and you see them with their cars, and you know, some of them got some great looking cars, and you know, and African American males have different styles that they like. Young, old, they do have different styles, but I think it's good to see African American males create their own style, like it ain't like gotta be like everybody, and he has his own style, he has his own taste, he has his own, and you know, and he likes what he likes and stuff like that, and it don't necessarily have to be about look like everybody else and stuff like that. You know, some African American has good taste, taste in women, taste in clothes, taste in houses, cars, whatever. You know, when you see them, you know, I see a lot of them. And, you know, tall, short, plump, light skin, many different shades of the African American male. But he tends to like be responsible and stuff, and I think that's good to see, and you know. And him, you know, I see a lot of handsome African American males, and it doesn't mean, and it doesn't matter like, they doesn't have to have a whole lot of money and this, that, and the other, and stuff like that. They can just be themselves, and they ain't gotta, you know. Be like everybody else. That they ain't gotta be wearing this, wearing that, and stuff like that. They can just be themselves, and it's okay to do that. You know, and you doesn't have to always have like be like everybody else. You know, you don't have to always be like everybody else. Like, you know. And stuff like, yeah, you know, yeah. You know, yeah. You know, you know, you know, but yeah, but but I again I like the how the African American male treats himself with respect and stuff like that. I like to see that. And have respect for himself as well as others. I like to see that within him. It doesn't matter what the age. It doesn't matter what the age. You know, some are more, some are more outspoken. Some are laid back and stuff, just laying a cut. But I think, you know, because you got all different types and styles and different personalities of the black male. You got so many different personalities of him, and you know, and stuff like that. When you're dealing with people, period, males, period, you have different type of personalities. And do I like all the personalities? No, but I think that they have a right to be themselves, and not hide. They doesn't have to hide it. They doesn't have to be like everybody else. They can just be themselves. And I think, you know, when I see that, you know, they doesn't like want to hurt. I think with some African American males, they doesn't want to hurt the next person. I think some do, but I think if he's a godly person and he loves his wife, or he loves his friends, he loves his his children and stuff like that, I think the African American male, some of them, they doesn't want to hurt the next person, regardless of age or sex. And you know, I see that with some. They doesn't, you know, but some do, some don't. As far as you know, his money, you know, he spends it on himself, he spends it on his wife, he spends it on his children, and if he can help someone else, he can also do that as well, without wanting anything in return, and stuff like that. And he can help someone else. He can let somebody borrow this, return it. But he can also help someone else, you know, and in a way of giving back, like, and that's good. That'll be a good thing to see, because not all African American males are selfish, and they some of them wants to help and not get anything in return, and that's a good thing to see. But I think, you know, and I think, you know, does, you know, again, I think it's good to see. I think it's also good to see that he doesn't, again, want to hurt anyone. Rather it's emotional or physical. You know, like that. And he learned how to control like himself around wife, children, and friends. And like, and learn how to control himself around wife, children, and friends. And is African American male who does good perfect? No. But I think for the most part, he doesn't want to. He'll do what he has to do to maintain healthy relationships with the wife, the kids, friends, and stuff like that to maintain. And it's good to see. I see it in Summer, and I think it's good to see. And you know, like that. You know, but is he perfect? No. Yeah, yeah. You don't have to be perfect. You know, because you know we all make mistakes and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, he respects himself and he respects others. You know, for the most part, and I think that's good to see in some males. And that's good to see. I would think it would be good to see in all males, but I understand that all males are not alike. African American males are not alike. They have different type of behaviors. They have different types of styles and personalities and stuff like that. And you kind of see what you're working with, you know, as time goes past. But I do appreciate the African American male who take care of himself, his family, his children, and friends. He respects himself, his family, his children, his family period, and his friends. And society at large. And I think that's good to see. I think that's good to see. And, you know, I think that's good to see. You know. Yeah. I think that's good to see. But, yeah, but you know, I think that's very good to see. But you know, and you know, that's what I have to say about the African American male. But again, I think he's one of the special men that he's. The African American male is special. I don't give a shit how old he is and how wealthy or not wealthy he is. He's still special. And I think African American males need to know that they is special regardless of how other motherfuckers treat them. And you know, and stuff like that. And I think that he needs to know that. I don't give a shit how much riches or lack of riches that he have. He needs to know that he's still special regardless of the riches. He can have less money or he can have more money. He's still special. And I don't want the African American male to think that because of life throws you so many problems or situations that you should feel less than. But I think in some situations they feel that life throws them all kinds of situations that they can't handle, or they can't do this or they can't do that, and they may feel unworthy of being special. but they is special, you know. And we are made in God's image, and God did not create us for nothing. And just because the white male mistreats that black male doesn't mean that he's less than the black man, the white male. Just because the white male mistreat the black male doesn't mean that the white male is more important than the black male. The black male is just important as the white male. And I stick with that. And you know, even though some black males may not feel that, but hey, they are just as important as the white male. And black males need to know that and feel that, regardless of how the white male treats them. And so I'm raising the black male up, regardless of how much riches or lack of riches. I think they should be treated as human beings, with respect, regardless of the riches. Well, regardless of they doesn't have this, they doesn't have that, but not all African American males are rich, but they still have qualities within them that respects that they have that respect for themselves, their wives, their children, their girlfriends, and society at large. They still have that respect for themselves and their wives, their children, girlfriends, and society at large. And so they are just as special as anyone else. Regardless of what you have or doesn't have. And, you know, like that. Regardless. You know, and I think blacks need to know that, and you know, and stuff. Some black males need to know that, because I think black males are looked at as some black males are looked at differently than others and stuff like that. But again, God created us all, and God created us all equal. And He's just as good as anyone else, and He's just as important as anyone else. You know. And but again, you know, He is. But I raise him up to with respect, and stuff like that, because when you talk about not only the good African American male, all African males are special, regardless of their situation. And you know, I think they're one of I think they are adored by all races. Like the African American male, the African American male is adored by all races. Like of women. They you know, and you know, you got the down low phenomenon, but they are adored by all races of women. like, and because I see them with a lot of different women, all races of women. I see black males with all races of women, and they are adored, not just with black women. They adore with white women, Hispanic women, and then you see them with some Chinese women or Indian women. They are adored by all races of women, and they love our black men. You know, you do see that. You know, you do see that. And not just by black women. They adore by all races of women. You know, and you know, and that's the truth. You know, that's the truth. You know, and stuff. And you know, and I don't think that black women are jealous of what race that the male gets involved with, because that's that male choice. And again, black men are adored by all races of women, not just by black women. And this is where I say that the black male is adored. A lot of them are handsome. They come in all races. I mean, all colors, and they are adored. I mean, I see black men with all races, and they are gorgeous. They are handsome. They, you know, they have their own style. And they, short, tall, you know, medium size, short, medium size, tall, fat, skinny, plump, whatever. And you know, they are adored by a lot of different races of women, and stuff like that. And you know, and don't forget the down low phenomenon, because you know it's that too. The black male is adored by other men. You know, and see, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so I think the black male is special. And you kind of see that, especially with women, with the down low phenomenon, with families, wives, children, and stuff like that. The ones that really take care of their children, this, that, and the other, and all this stuff. He is adored. Regardless of how the white male make him feel. But that black male is adored by all races, male and female. And you know, so I really think he's very, very special, and regardless of how the white male made him feel, but he's adored by all races, man. All races of women, all races of men. He's adored, and and that's the truth. And I know that the women, you know, women, when it comes to the black male, a lot of women, you know, like the black male. Not just black women, you know, all the races. You know. But I think he is adored, regardless of his material wealth. Regardless of that, he's adored all over the world, all over. And I think so, and sometimes, you know, society put the stigmas on them. But when you look at those relationship type things, when you look at him in relationships and stuff like that, you'll see him being adored by all races of women and men. Yeah. So, you know, but you know, seen a lot of great men, you know, and stuff like that, and see them whether rich or poor. I mean, rich or not poor, but you know, they still you know, work and do certain things and stuff like that. But even the ones that doesn't have a whole lot of money, you see them, you know, with you know, a share of women and and all races. But he's very much adored, and I don't ever want the black male to think that he's less than, because he's not. Not when he's adored by all these other, you know, races of women and men. It's just the white male is doing, you know, try to do that to the black male. It's not. And then you got to look at not all whites disrespect the black male. Only some of them do. You know, some white males want to get with black males. And you see all the races, especially with the down low phenomena. But the black male, you know, when they say he sleeps with everybody, meaning he gets with every race, every color, you'll see them with every color, because he's adored by them, all races of women. The African American male is adored by all races of women. They are adored by all races of men, based on the down low phenomenon. And so, like he, and I wonder if the white male is jealous of the black male. But again, you see them with all races. You'll see them with all races of women, because of how they adore the black male. And I don't ever want the black male to think that he's less than, or let the white man feel like he's less than. He's just as important as the white male. And, you know, just as important. And education, you know, a lot of them went to college and got degrees and lawyers and doctors, and you know, at this point or whatever. And some of them didn't go, you know, they work in warehouses or whatever, store and music industry, you know, all that entertainment business and stuff like that. And a lot of them are gorgeous as well, handsome and stuff. But again, they are adored by all races of women and men. You know, so I don't want the African American male to ever feel like he less than. You know, and stuff like that. And you know, because he's just as important as anybody else. And I wonder if the white male is jealous of the black male, because the black male, you see them with all races of female and males like them. The down low phenomenon like them. And I wonder if the white male is jealous of that. Perhaps. But he's just, but the black male is just as special as anybody else, man. And you know, and they you know, and their style of clothing, man. Yeah, I mean, you see them dress, man. You know, and then they don't necessarily have to like have pumps. They don't necessarily have to have suits on and stuff. They can have other type gear on. The sneakers, the jogger suit, and stuff like that, or shorts, or suits, or hats, and and stuff like that. It's something when you see them out and about, and stuff, and when they show off their style. It don't necessarily have to be $1 million clothes and stuff like that, because I see a lot of them, how they dresses and stuff like that, and they doesn't have to have a lot of money to do it, but you can see there's certain style of how they dresses, and they don't necessarily have to be gaiters on their feet. They can have sneakers, and stuff like that. It depends on how they want to dress for that particular day, or just have some shorts on, and they pump their bodies up. They pump up their bodies, with weights and stuff like that, and you see a lot of African American males. Some of them, be overweight. Some of them be lifting weights. Some of them are thin. They come in all type sizes, and I look at them all the time. Because I like to look at the African American male based on his style. His style, not only his style, the way he treat his wife, his friends and stuff like that. But I sit and watch their style as well. Their style of clothing. What kind of car he driving? Like that. Because they have different type styles and stuff like that. And you kind of look at them and stuff like that, and not that you want to get with them or anything like that, but you just watch them. You watch them, based on their style, But I think they're just as handsome as anybody else, and they are adored by a lot of women and men. African American males are adored by a lot of women. All races, and men, based on the down low phenomena and stuff like that. But he's just as special as anybody else. Oh yes, he is, and very much adored. It doesn't matter, tall, skinny, plump, overweight, whatever. Some will be overweight and stuff like that, but you'd be surprised how they are adored by all races of women and men. The African American male is just as popular. Yes, he is.